Virat Kohli has retired from Test cricket. The man who redefined the format for quite a few generations bids a silent adieu. 9,230 runs, 30 centuries, 31 half-centuries. Records don't define the magnitude Kohli leaves in the longest format of the game. From a brash youngster to being christened King Kohli, generations watched in awe as Kohli expanded horizons that redefined greatness over time. Here's looking back at the legacy set by Kohli, one that took Test cricket to greater heights. He started out with hundreds in both innings of his Test captaincy debut, the only man to do so besides Greg Chappell till date. If batter Kohli dictated terms on the pitch, Captain Kohli reiterated how it's to be done. As stand-in skipper for MS Dhoni in Adelaide 2014, Virat Kohli dropped Ashwin for Karan Sharma, citing wrist spin as a more attacking option. Big calls? Not the first. Definitely not the last. While India failed to win that test or the series, it underlined a potent problem: the inability to clean up the tail. Over the course of his tenure as captain, Kohli heralded a new generation of fast bowlers, one that would pick 20 wickets at will, at home and away. By 2015, the signs of change were apparent. He helped India win a series in Sri Lanka for the first time in 22 years. The following year, he led India to a series win in the West Indies, the first Indian captain to win 2 tests in the island nation. In the first test of the Windies series, Kohli scored a perfect 200, the first and only double hundred by an Indian captain away from home. From his maiden Test century to the final ton, Kohli's achievements in Australia stand a cut above the rest. As captain, he led India to their maiden series win down under, reiterating that there are no inevitabilities in sport, only probabilities. In fact, that 2018-19 series win was the first time any Asian side had triumphed against the baggy greens in Australia. Once the apprentice to the master, Kohli's Test run in 2024, his 30th, was also the 7th Test century by an Indian in Australia, surpassing Sachin Tendulkar's tally of 600s. While Kohli's partnerships on the field were a treat to watch, the one with Ravi Shastri off it was what defined greatness for Indian Test cricket. Right up there among the great wins will be the one at Johannesburg in 2018, where despite a series loss, India conjured up a terrific fight to clinch the 3rd Test. In a series where all 120 wickets fell for the first and only time in a 3-Test match series, Kohli emerged the highest run getter. En route, he surpassed Sunil Gavaskar and MS Dhoni to become the highest scoring captain in India's history. If the 2014 tour to England was a sorry sight for Indian fans, 2018 was what everyone looked up to. James Anderson versus Virat Kohli was a derby that surpassed the teams, but unlike 2014, the former failed to dismiss the latter even once. Despite 2 terrific centuries, Kohli failed to go past the finish line. England won the series 4-1. Come 2021, Kohli regrouped. After avoiding defeat in the first test, India were on the brink of staving defeat in the second as well. But all that changed quickly following a war cry from the general. India not only wrapped the test match inside 52 overs, but by the end of the 4th test, India led the series 2-1. India were on the brink of history. COVID struck and India's fortune suffered. By the time the 5th Test match came along in 2022, Kohli had relinquished Test captaincy. The one-off Test loss that came a year later meant that India's wait for a series win in England since 2007 continued. India also lost the WTC final in 2021, an unwanted feat that they'd repeat come 2023. From heralding a new generation of fast bowlers to expressing that India should have 5 proper Test centres to host the format, Kohli never shied away from the big calls. In an era where T20 cricket gripped the imagination of a nation, Virat Kohli made Test cricket cool again. He signs off as India's greatest Test captain, Indian with most double hundreds, and one who stood the test of time. Goodbye, legend. Every Indian fan of this generation has a favorite Test story to tell when it comes to you.